Alrighty, getting things started. Just making sure all the levels are good. And the stream's working on my laptop. Sorry for the late start. Just got really busy today. Got some people already in. Nathan Mason, Elongated Man, Mr. Red Sloth, Charles Buchanan, Kush and Monkey Show. How's my day going? Pretty good, can't complain. Bentley's here. And he's repeating himself a little bit too much, Bentley. Hi. So I'm continuing with the Wild KrAnts animation I worked on a while ago. I'm actually hoping to finish this before the end of the month. Very close to finish, just have a bit of lip sync to do. Thank you, Kush. Also, I was working on a little end credit scene based on some fine fan art that we got from Name and Address Withheld. So I'm sure some of you might recognize this scene. Still putting some fine tuning on it. Decided to have it end a little bit differently than it did on the original series. Webby, actually. Hey, MC Cubed is here. And B. De se quelque et filet. I'm gonna assume you're asking or you're saying that you don't know that I talk? Filet? That's talk, right? So just a little sneak peek for sort of the little end credit scene for this one. Jason's here. No worries. I just started not 2 minutes ago. All right, so have the scene with the Wild KrAnts shrinking down, running up to Aviva's feet, getting picked up. And just going to make this little scene with them running onto the table. Make that into a graphic to add some frames in the graphic. Mikuru-san loves Aviva. I did hear a lot of Aviva love when the last time I was working on this live. She's popular. Rafasia is here. I'm gonna just call you Raf. Aviva, me gusto mucho, says Superior Cyber Godzilla. She seems like a nice lady. Didn't watch the show, but I get a bit of a Kim Possible vibe from it. I guess it's the character design and that's some pretty cool looking action from what I've seen. And a cast of bad guys, kind of like Carmen Sandiego type thing or Grossology, making learning fun by sort of giving the main cast some superpowers or getting into action or having villains. Classic. But yeah, like I said, this one is just about finished. Mostly some little scenes to finish and some lip sync to do. The relevant elephant is here. I love the Wild KrAnts. They save animals, including an elephant. Aw. I have to disagree with that statement, Cyber Godzilla. uh, yeah, it's a pretty catchy theme. Wild, wild, wild KrAnts. Plush Adventures of Cuphead. Do you know what you'll get if you throw an ant? If you grow an ant to the size of a building? A monster ant? A giant? There's Corey Alonzo K. What? Hey, that's what I guessed. Yay. Vanilla Beam's here. Now that is tiny. They've yet to go that tiny in the show. It's a pretty small ant that they're racing against in this animation. I think when they shrank to ant size, they were like carpenter ants, one of the larger ants. Ants is the way to go if you want to destroy a city with giant bugs of some kind. Oh yeah, classic. Some people were upset that I didn't do any sizey stuff with that um, April Fool's thing. Oh, bugs are small, actually. And I like it that way. I mean, I like most kinds of bugs. The exception of, like, the peskier ones. No one wants a fly buzzing about them. And roaches, I'm not too ashamed to admit I have a bit of a phobia about. But most other bugs, it's like I don't make a big deal when they're buzzing about. Ladybugs, mantises, all sorts of little beetles, stink bugs, most spiders. I think I've mentioned during live streams before. If I find a bug, I am not want to. I don't want to crush. I'll just pick them up in a little cup, put an index card under it, and just take it outside and send it on its way. Amen King is here. Gotta go wild. Kush, I love bumblebees and honeybees. That makes me think of um some characters, some cartoon characters. We got Bumblebee from Teen Titans series, various Teen Titans series, and there's Honeybee, um, who's one of the characters on the Great North. But yeah, I think bees are pretty cool too. They make it the honey. And the bumblebee bees, I believe those are the ones that sort of got a bit of a like a coat going on. Megan's here. Sorry I'm late. I was busy. No worries, Megan. Can you do Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? Well, this is the part of the live stream where I say not really something I had planned. But if you support us on our Patreon, $20 tier and above, we do make assets and animations. Um, so yeah, if you have an idea involving Grim Adventures characters and really want to see them animated, support our Patreon, and we could come up with something. But I don't really have any ideas with Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. They already did. I thought for me, it was a perfect size episode. So usually when a series does like the perfect sizey episode, I don't want to compete with that. Yes, and I don't like tarantulas. They're creepy and crawling, and definitely they can bite. Yeah, they can. I've seen some people who have like defanged tarantulas as pets. Um, so I'm a little less scared when it's like a pet situation. But they look pretty cool. I wouldn't want one crawling around the house, but if there was one, I would also want to uh, just catch and release. Wouldn't want to squash something as complex and amazing as a tarantula. Are we talking about that hairy arachnid? I'd be horrified. It seems that there's two people that are deathly afraid of tarantulas. Long man, and I have a phobia of roaches too. They're kind of insect that I think is pure evil. Yep, that's my feeling about them. I don't know why, because I'm constantly mistaking crickets for roaches. Like when it's dark outside, I'm doing some last minute gardening, and I see one, and then I'm like, oh no, a roach. But I notice it's a cricket, and then like I'm relieved. So I don't know. There's something about roaches that is very unsettling to me. I mean, I think they're basically a beetle, which I have nothing against. There's just something about them that freaks me out. Have you thought of making more Molly McGee? Uh, I do have an idea for a series I can do after I finish Grande House. Um, but that's gonna be depending if that idea wins the poll. I have a lot of different ideas, so we'll see. I think I've mentioned before the idea I had for Molly McGee was like Molly and Andrea going into like Libby's imagination, just full of like book stuff, like stories. So something like Molly McGulliver's Travels or Andrea in Wonderland. Um, let's see. A new bug happened at my home. The spotted, oh my god, the spotted lanternfly. I've heard of those. They're like a pest, and you're supposed to kill them on sight. That's scary. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with any kinds of major pests like that. Not completely over roaches, but when I was younger, I used to jump onto tables when I see roaches. Yep, same here. Oh my god. So one time I find one in a cabinet. This is when I was younger. I tried spraying it with Raid, and the thing just flew right at my face. It was so disgusting, and that was also when I realized that roaches can fly, which like horrified me. Also makes me think of that episode with the Simpsons with those lizards, and they got thrown off a building, and they managed to glide because they have that ability. And Skinner was like, "I knew they can do that, but I was hoping they didn't know that." It just makes me wonder why. I mean, I'm glad that they don't, but it just makes me wonder why roaches aren't flying around everywhere. Anytime you see them, they're just crawling about. Their disgusting bellies. Oh, how I hate them. I also love snails, but I don't think they count as insects. They're moles? Are they moles? I thought they were arthropods or something like that. Or gastropods? They're something pods. Yeah, I got no qualms with slugs or snails. Besides the fact that they destroy gardens. They look cool. They make me think of Gary from SpongeBob. One time a damn roach crawled on my face, falling from the wall. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's making me feel itchy and ugh. My mom invented an awesome way to kill roaches. I need to hear this. I've noticed like for some there's like some homemade extermination methods I've seen like for killing rats. People make this homemade device that's basically like drowns rats. It's like a bucket or something with a tube that they just fall in and I guess exhaust themselves and drown. Which I hope isn't super cruel. I mean, it's bloodless. And if Dan Versus is correct, apparently drowning is a very peaceful way of going down. But uh, Thumbelina. I like that, Vanilla. I'll have to consider that. Actually, I'll have to write that down in the project folder. Excuse me. Just gotta make that disappear for a bit. Let me pull up my folder. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Ghost and Molly McGee. Molly. No. Alright. Added that note. I'm a sucker for a good pun. What about reptiles? Crocodile, turtle, gecko, and snake. I have no qualms with reptiles. They're fine. My brother wanted to own a like a turtle when we were kids. There used to be a pet shop that was nearby called Prehistoric Pet Shop. It was like literally just like snakes and iguanas and stuff like that. Um, but they're so expensive. It's not like a dog, I guess, where you know they're not exotic. They're cheaper to adopt, and the food is cheaper. With reptiles, from what my family found out, their food can be a little bit more pricey depending on what kind of reptile you're getting, and they need certain accoutrements, I guess, terrariums, heating rocks, and you're also paying a premium since they're an exotic, special kind of critter. I don't think we were missing out on it much because there was someone that I knew from when I was in high school band. They had uh, like a tank with little turtles, and it's like they look cool, but they're not a fun kind of pet like a dog that you could pet and cuddle and whatnot. Well, I couldn't understand why someone like Libby likes them because she kind of identifies with turtles, like they're her spirit animal. I saw the giant alligator on the news on a Florida golf course. Yeah, that's scary. Especially when you know some of the predatory habits of the bigger reptiles. Uh, Not sure what else I can do right now. Um, got some lip sync I can do right here. The only snail I hate is the apple snail because they are poisonous. Aw. With a name like apple snail, you'd figure they'd maybe taste like an apple or look like an apple. It's kind of terrifying to know bugs used to be gigantic. Oh my god, yes. I don't want to see a giant bug. I mean, I guess there are some critters like trilobites that kind of look like big bugs. Kind of look scary. But I wouldn't want like an eagle-sized dragonfly to come buzzing by my face. Rex Tom says shrink or growth. I could go either way when it comes to doing sizey animations. Yen. Oh, hey, Yen. You gotta start telling me when you do this, Mr. Animator. I'll remember to. I don't like to bug you because you got a pretty busy schedule. You know what? Next time I'm about to start, I will notify group chat. I love Lila's Pet Shop 2012, but apparently the original 90s Lila's Pet Shop had the pets as tiny animals, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I think I saw that. I remember. I think I put it on the playlist. There's like this episode with Chet the horse, and he gets adopted by a little girl, and she basically treats him like My Little Pony. That was a cute episode. And to be fair, the 2012 series they did have that shrinking episode, which was pretty fun. Dogs are exotic, huh? When last did you see a wild dog? I said they're not exotic. They're basic. They're basic. Reptiles is exotic. Hey, Rory Ocelot's here. I'm going to make rough men running on a hamster wheel. Can't wait to see that. I'm almost caught up with comments, yay. Oh, golden retriever mix. Are you for real? You wouldn't want a giant arthropod pet? If I have it in like a tank, then that would be fine. I'm just saying I don't want it scurrying around my legs. Do David and Danny have any pets? Yes. He hasn't been in a lot of animations, but for Christmas, Danny did get a little Poochie. Little Darla.
If it makes you feel better, I'll make a Saharan silver ant. I'll make a Saharan silver ant creature pouch.
But for pets, they do have to be you know, selective. It can't be a cat, for example, because if David's tiny around a cat, it'll probably hunt him down and eat him.
I'll make a Saharan silver ant.
I don't think I've done a shrinky thing like that yet, where like someone shrinks and they end up in their own shoe.
I'll make a Saharan silver ant creature. Saharan silver ant creature.
If I did something with like giant shoe habitat, maybe um, like another idea I had for like a loud house thing would be different sisters or Lincoln trying to tell fairy tales to Lily to get her to sleep. One of them could be the old lady who lived in a shoe. I want to do something with the little old lady who lived in a shoe. Um, and it turned out it was like a giant shoe. And then it could either be like a rent situation where the giant's demanding the rent, or it could be just like a ditzy giant like Lenny and just finds the shoe, puts it on, and takes it away. Anyone remember the Tensionaire? I remember a show on WB Kids that was called The Tension, I think. The Tensionaire. What is that? Oh, I've never seen this show. It looks like what does it look like? Kind of reminds me of that Motor City series. Is that what it was called? Motor City? Yeah, Motor City. Or maybe a little bit like 16. Yeah, never seen this series. I'll have to add it to my list of stuff to watch. And it's Magic Charlie Brown's what? Yeah, and Kush, I've actually been trying to find that episode, but um, I haven't found it yet on like YouTube. As far as I know, it's lost media. I'd have to check out the series and see if there's anything there, you know. But elongated man, if you know, if you're ever uh part of our Patreon, $20 tier and above, I could definitely make assets for those characters and even animate them at some point. I still haven't gotten into Commander Clark yet. I'm still working my way through. I'm still working my way through Carmen Sandiego.
I'll make a Saharan silver ant creature. Silver ant creature power. Silver ant creature power.
Aviva versus Alex? Why would they fight each other?
I'll make a Saharan silver ant creature. Make a Saharan silver ant creature power.
If anything, they'd be allies. And yes, I'm the guy at the comic store that's like, what? This doesn't make sense. These two are mortal enemies. Why would they team up?
Make a Saharan silver ant creature power disc for you. Creature power disc for you.
Actually, to be fair, I've only been in a comic store one time, and it was such a bad experience. Um, because the comic book guy there, wasn't like the nicest. He just seemed very annoyed. He didn't like that me and my brother, we were there like sort of browsing the selection for a good long while. We were just sort of getting the lay of the land, you know, like, oh, this is where this is where that is. We ended up only buying like two comics, one each, and like he was just upset that like for the time that we were there, like we didn't spend a lot of money, so it was kind of annoying. I think he got a little bit of a karmic retribution thing because as we were leaving, there was like all these kids entering the store. I think they just got back from like a swim meet or something like that. Just like a lot of people in bathing suits, and he didn't seem very thrilled. I think he assumed some of them were going to be like soggy and get water all over his merchandise. But yeah, it really upset my brother as we were driving away. So we've stuck to mostly just if we need to buy any comics or anything like that, we'll just usually get it like from Amazon or eBay or whatever.
I'll make a Saharan silver ant creature power disc for you.
Oh wow! All right. Did I miss anything? Megan, I gotta try to sleep. No problem. Get some good sleep. Christopher, I love this animation. Thank you. Someone in the Peanut server found it. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see that episode again because it's been a while. I've only seen it once when it was on TV. No plans for Carmen Sandiego in the immediate future, Rory. Uh, Only if someone, on our Patreon requests those assets, I can get stuff done. You take the moon and you take the sun. You take everything that seems like fun. You stir it all up and then you're done. Rada, 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 ra. Classic theme song. Elongated Man. I love comics. I want to create my own. Go for it. Then we have a bunch of Russian. I think it's Russian. Let me see what my translator says. Translator. Detect language. Who doesn't remember the animated series Adventure of Jackie Chan? There was an episode where Jackie shrunk. It's a shame that there was less interaction. Yeah, I remember that episode. Pretty fun stuff. Have you done cloning related videos? Asks Albot. No. Cloning isn't really my favorite subject for for anything, I don't think. Like spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the new or the modern DuckTales, whatever you want to call it, reboot. Uh it did end with like, oh, clones. There were clones. Uh, as a plot point, it's not like my favorite thing in the world. I think one of the few clone things that I kind of like is like in Invincible. The two alien brothers. What are their names? The Mauler twins. I think it's kind of funny that basically they've each died all these different times, and one of them always brings back the other as a clone. Like, that stuff was pretty cool. I didn't care too much for the other clone stuff they did. There's certain moral ambiguities involved. I do kind of like the idea of like a magic clone, or like if someone got turned into like a bunch of tiny little versions of themselves. I think that would be kind of cool. Forming a little society. I think I remember on a show, Ugly Americans, I think it was called. This is this really weird show. It had like zombies and demons and uh, wizards and stuff. I think the wizard Leonard in that series, something happened where he basically turned into a bunch of tiny little versions of himself, and every time one of them got destroyed or squashed or whatever, created like more, not more, but the rest of them would like sort of grow a little bit more. So basically, it was like all of them had to be destroyed with the exception of one, and then that last one would basically be back to normal size. Oh, really weird episode, but an interesting concept. Feed Fancier's here. Oh my goodness, I missed so many comments after the cloning one. Oh, that's cool. Feed, can you send me a link so I can check out the comic you got published? Or maybe some sample clips, or not clips, sorry, sample panels. I didn't know you made comics, Feed. Puede hacer un video de Totally Spies Mandy versus Clover? They already made a whole episode like that. I don't want to be derivative. No puedo fazer esta coisa. I'm happy. I like it. Yeah, I'll check it out, Feed. Just show me what some panels. Maybe I'll buy a copy. Oh, it is clone like anything, but going like science. Are you sure it worked on the Wild House? Built a clone machine. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything with Lisa making clones. Again, there's some strange moral implications there. What's with the girl with the magnifying glass in the bottom left corner? That is Aviva. That's a scene from the Wild KrAnts thing I'm working on. Invincible versus a giant woman. That would get kind of bloody. I don't think I. I mean, I like some stuff from the series, but it gets a little bit too violent for me. Especially that train scene. Not a fan of it. Can't wait to see the video. Like I said, I'll try to have this ready by the end of the month. I love Giant Aviva. I wish they would shrink that small in the show. No words. Worries, Kush. There's no rush. Yeah, like I said, not the kind of clone project I'd be interested in. Guess I could add like a little effect here, and then call it a night. I'm sorry, Jason. But I need to keep the lights on my house somehow. A man's got to eat. Where is Alice Little? Who's Alice Little? Speaking of funny clone stories, Shrub Monkey 75 did a clone story. Guy built a clone robot of himself because he's too lazy to work. Yeah, if I did clone stuff, it would either be like a robot. Like I can see a robot character having like tiny, like toy versions of themselves, or maybe something involving magic. But science clones, I too messy for me. Firewolf. Alice Little is the title character from Alice in Wonderland. Ah, all right. Good to know. Nice little trivia. So, hi, Firewolf. Yeah, paying tribute to the 80s version. Got some nice fan art from Name and Address Withheld. Yeah, sorry about that feed. Yeah, he's falling off the building. I decided it would be, since it's the reboot, it would be a bit different from the original animated series. So that's why I'm gonna have Scrooge in pain because I feel like it's something they do on the show just to make it a little bit more different. Should be angrier. I'm not missing anything. Bet Disney didn't renew DuckTales for another season. I think they got enough seasons. As I mentioned before, not my favorite series. I prefer the original. Alice Madness. Are you talking about that game by America McGee? Oh yeah, I remember seeing this game. Um, it looked all right. An interesting twist on the story. I'm gonna go sleep. Nighty, Jason. Uh, that's gonna depend on the guy that's writing the Stellar Shrinks episodes. We'll have to wait and see. Wander over yonder. Maybe if I get a really nice fan art. Um, but no real plans for doing any wander over yonder stuff. Unless someone on our Patreon, as I've mentioned quite so often, supporting the $20 tier and above, uh, we do offer making animation assets and animations as a reward. Otherwise, after this, I'm planning on finishing more Grande House stuff. I'm going to do work on the milestone video for Jackie and that Pacifica thing that I wanted to do. So I already have things planned out for a bit. Alright, I think I will be calling it right here. Thank you everyone for dropping in. I have a picture of a giant Rebecca Cunningham. I think I've seen some of those. I fell asleep to Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, but that's such an exciting movie. The only thing I remember from Tailspin was that episode where everyone shrank. That was a pretty fun one. I think I remember a comic where Rebecca Cunningham shrank to the gadget size, gadget hack wrench, and she had to help restore her back to normal. That was a pretty interesting comic. Hey, Max Star's here. Sorry, Mac. Next time. Alrighty. Thanks everyone for dropping in. For your comments, we had some pretty good conversation. It really made the hour fly. Um, Tomorrow I'll have the demo ready for the Lisa game. So tomorrow's going to be a very short stream, but I'll also have information for the demo for anyone who wants to try it out or to support production through some donations. Y'all have a nice day. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.